All right, you got okay. We got something. All right, it's something worked. What's up, you guys? How y'all doing on today? Welcome back to another Let's Unload podcast. All right, so y'all know what it is. Y'all know how it is. We are back to talk, run our mouth, and everything in between. But before we get to today's topic, because we got a juicy one on today, we're going to do our announcements. Okay, do our church. I got some little water, and it's little for real, little water. We're gonna do our church announcements. So be sure to like and subscribe to our channels. If you are not following us, why not? I need you to answer that question as to why you're not following us. Okay. And now go, if you're only following one of us, I need you to go follow the other person. So if you follow Miss Dina, please come follow me. And if you're following me, please go follow Miss Dina. At my YouTube channel is Deep Conversations with Shun, and Miss Dina's YouTube channel is Journey with Your Girl Dina. Okay, so we got that part out the way, and like I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, now we got a juicy one on today. It's a little juicy, and we got something to back it up with too at the same time. But before we get into our conversation, Miss Dina, how you doing, girl? How you snowed in? You warmed up? What's going on?
Listen, I'm all of the above. Now, I did get out last week, but I have been in the house since Saturday. And to my surprise, I have been enjoying it. It's been very peaceful.
Yeah.
I've been productive maybe a couple of days, not too many. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
switch to the other end of the couch, though, because the couch like, listen, lady.
Y'all know, well, Dina, you know that I have that senior girl. And she's 17. She'll senior in high school, y'all. And baby, she about losing it over here. She's so ready to get out this house. She don't know what to do. So for those who don't know, who don't live in the Tennessee area, y'all know we got some snow.
That's some ice, baby.
And ice. And it ain't going nowhere. And it's been here since January, 30th?
Is that time? Nah, it's been here longer than that.
It was longer than January 3rd. Oh, it came on the 24th, didn't it?
Yeah, it was longer.
It came January 24th. Baby, y'all see the date. It is February 3rd. And this ice and this snow is still out here. So these kids have not been to school. None last week. It looked like they ain't going this week. And baby, the girl, y'all pray for her, okay, baby? She is going through. When they sent that message saying they weren't going back to school, she like, she said, "I'm tired of looking at y'all."
She got her phone. What else she need?
It ain't good enough. And the youngest is following her everywhere she goes. So she was like, "Oh my God, I cannot breathe."
She want to be in her skin.
Literally want to be in her skin. So I had to tell her, y'all, they 10 years apart. So I had to tell her, let me do a little story time because ain't nobody came on anyway. So we'll do a little story time. So I had to tell her, I'm like, you have a relief. She don't. You have somebody that you can call and talk to and kiki with and see what they doing. She does it. Who she gonna call?
You or her sister?
That's all she got. Okay. So I'm like, girl, chill out. Be nice to my baby. Okay. But anyway, that's enough of that. Y'all ready to get into it?
Woo! I had to give me some fruit punch tonight, honey. I'm ready.
So y'all see the title. It has what happens when your friend doesn't like your spouse. So to give a little piece of a context, I was on, minding my business, child, and over there on TikTok, because people don't mind telling their business on social media, and I don't be mind to listening to their business over there on social media. So I'm just minding my good godly business, and I come across this TikTok that says I've ended a friendship my friend ended our friendship over a man. So I was like, oh, I'm intrigued. I want to hear. Let me ask him. And it was right on time because y'all know me and Dina been over here talking about friends and are they really your friend and what they look like. So we just talking stuff. So when I saw this, I said, okay, let me see what these people talking about. And the friend is pretty much going in on her friend, and she's pretty much mad that her friend kind of chose her man. But peep this, y'all, the man is the husband. It ain't no boyfriend. It ain't nobody she met yesterday. We talk about her husband of years, okay? But
Mm-hmm.
I want y'all to hear from her instead of me,
Because I thought
okay?
it was her boyfriend, but it is her husband.
Is her husband,
Okay.
because the wife, the other friend who's the wife, came back and I'm gonna have to resend it to myself. I can't find it. The wife came back and was like, y'all stop tagging me in this. And let me tell y'all what really happened. Okay. So here y'all go. Let me I was gonna try to play it so y'all can see it, but I'm just gonna play it so you can hear it. All right. And let me know if you can hear this. Hey, let me set this up. Let me tell you the story. This is literally what I said. Where did y'all go for y'all anniversary? Oh, hold on. Let me start it over. Of 4 years, just ended our friendship over a man. I'm gonna tell you the story. Can you hear that, Dina?
Uh-huh.
Can you hear it good? So the way it works out is her birthday, their anniversary, Christmas, my birthday, New Year's. So right around this time of the year, we're chatting a whole bunch. Girl, what you doing? Girl, what you doing? Y'all, so this year, no different. Hit her up. Let me set this up because I can my head so I'll tell you the story. This is literally what I said. Where did y'all go for y'all anniversary? And she goes, oh, we just went out to dinner. He got me flowers and some jewelry. And I was like, and she was like, don't start. We all need to start starting with our friends who are accepting like low effort shit from the men that now let me preface this by saying he's a man of means. Okay. I sold this man his third property when I was in real estate. I've seen this person. This man makes well into the mid to high six figures. Okay. And you are the type of person that likes to travel because we bonded over that. We've traveled and taken trips together before. It's just so minimal to me what he does for her. A birthday, flower, dinners, a gift. Anniversary, flowers, dinner, gift. Like it's the same shit over and over and over and over again. And I'm like, bro, you deserve better. You deserve. There's over 70 luxury resorts in the United States alone. Even if he just took you to one a year, it would take y'all a lifetime. Literally, you should not just be at home all the time when y'all doing big celebrations like this. Like, are you? I feel like you're just accepting y'all. And this is what pisses me off so much about it is that whenever she's talking about him and stuff that he does, it's always spectacular. But when she's talking about stuff that he does for her, like, yes, it's nice, but it's not spectacular in comparison to what he does for himself. I'm like, bro, this man does not like you. He's with you. You're integrated into his life. Yeah, he may say he loves you, but he does not like you. Okay? For his part, this video is getting a little long, so let me. All right, Dina, take it away. So for those, let me do a recap. So the people who didn't hear it, don't understand what's going on. This is a friend coming to social media telling about her other friend, and she feels like her husband does not do enough for her. She feels like, why are you accepting the bare minimal? If this is y'all anniversary, why are you just getting flowers in a restaurant? Okay, Dina, take it away. What are your thoughts?
Child, listen. There are so many, as you say, red flags to this friendship, on so many different levels. One is very disrespectful for you to take my business and go to social media and talk about it, especially for people who know that I know you.
Right.
Um, it seems to me that there is no that's not a concerned place that she's talking from.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it sounds like she's jealous because you didn't play the second video, but in the second video, I went back and watched it, and she
Mm-hmm.
even talked about when the man's birthday is. And even in the first video, she was like, it's their anniversary, her birthday, his birthday, my birthday. Why is your birthday in sequence with
Why
their
did they
birthday?
add it in there? Yes.
I was
Mm-hmm.
confused because this is like, first of all, she's in the covenant with her husband,
Mm-hmm.
not you. And I'm just gonna say that I probably would agree with the friend. I probably would just cut my losses, honey. At
Mm-hmm.
this point, no, no, cause
So we're
Jesus
gonna
will help you.
we're gonna play the friend's response, but before we get to the friend's response, who cut her off, I end up titling this video like what happens when your friend doesn't like your spouse. But I think the friend is trying to word it as, oh, I don't like him because he don't do enough for you and you're so much better. I feel like that's a cop out. But in reality, if the chance came for y'all to switch places, you would take it hands down. So you're trying to cuten it up because if y'all listen to how she ended it was that man don't like you. He don't like you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if the opportunity came for you to switch, I'm sure you would take it hands down. You ain't gonna think twice about it. You're gonna say, okay, where can I sign up for it? Because I'm here for it. And you're going to do it. And you're also pocket watching. What you selling him 3 houses got to do with anything? Because you seen him or sold him another house on top of another house that she's supposed to get flued out every time her eyes blink. It don't work that way. And then
And
she
you
wonder,
ain't complaining about it. Why you complaining?
why are you complaining? And to go over here and say he don't like you is wild to me.
It gives jealousy all the way across the board to me. I'm sorry.
That's all it is. Like you cannot get on here and tell somebody that they spouse don't like them because they ain't doing enough for you. Who are you?
Nobody. And that's why she cut off because I feel like she probably been doing this for a long time, but the friend had got to a point where, look,
She had
I
enough.
can't take it no more. And even her spouse, he might have told her, look,
Yeah.
you talk too much, you telling her too much of our business. She
Mm-hmm.
looking all upside my head. She got a problem with this. I think she jealous, and she probably looking at the friend husband anyway.
That's my thing. And she even said the gift was flowers, jewelry,
And
and
a gift. She
huh?
said a gift. She didn't say what the gift was. She said he
Oh,
would get flowers, jewelry, and a gift. The
right.
gift could have been a new car. The gift could have been $5,000 put in her account. We don't know what the gift is, and she don't
Thank
know
you.
either.
But if we take away the gift part, we're not going to make it seem like jewelry is cheap either. We're not going to play these games like he on went to. And if we're gonna go off her words and say that he's a man of means, I don't think he went to Kay's to go get her no jewelry. And even if he did, Kay's got some stuff that can go up into the thousands as well. But
Mm-hmm.
jewelry isn't cheap.
Mm-mm. And
Wherever
if it's
they
what she
went,
like,
right? Wherever they went, I'm sure it was a 5-star restaurant with all the bells and the whistles. So I'm sure they ticket by the time you add in wine, if they're drinkers, your entree, my entree, your our appetizers, not including our dessert. You Me and my husband on our anniversary, when we go out, it's a place I like called Paris. We can easily spend 250 by and we ain't balling on nobody's playing field. Do you hear me?
And
And
that's not include getting your hair done, getting your nails done. If you want your makeup done, you're gonna get you a new outfit. He gonna get him some stuff. Baby, I'm like, eat ass up. But my thing still is if the friend is not concerned and worried about it, why are you so pressed about it? She's more pressed than the friend.
yeah, because even she brought up that part of, oh, it's all of these luxury resorts and y'all not going to it. Your desire and her desires are two different things. In every relationship, we always say this: the opposites definitely attract. She may be the one that don't want the all the bells and whistles. She could be the simple one.
Right.
And he's the one to be like, no, I want to go all out. And she's like, but I ain't got to have all that. There's always that balance in a relationship because that's your attitude and how you want to celebrate your birthday. That don't mean that that's her case.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. Let's get to the friend. Y'all ready to get to the friend?
So
Because
I didn't hear this one.
the friend reads her rights. Let me
You're
say.
sending me the video, and since I'm blocked, let's just talk about it. First and foremost, the fact that you started your video talking about my friend of 4 years cut me off over a man and then actually explain what the dynamic of the relationship was, I'm going to do that for you. You didn't get cut off over a man. You got cut off over my man, my husband, the person that's the most important to me. You live a life where you live in la la land. You don't have a man.
Let me hold on.
That
Baby,
was
when
a good one.
she said not a man over my
I
man, over my husband. Girl, check her. Okay, I'm sorry,
And
y'all.
she said she live in La La Land.
Right, baby. She ate down just right there. Okay.
And B, don't have somebody, have never had anybody that does for you what my husband does for me. You are a pocket watcher. You clock everything that is done in a manner in which you wouldn't accept it, but nobody's even doing for you what my man does for me. You're upset, wholeheartedly upset, more upset than me that I got jewelry, dinner, and flowers, the thing that I requested, the thing that I enjoy, because baby, I'm a mother and a wife, and I work full time. I be tired. I don't want to do a whole lot of stuff all the time. And it's not out of the norm, having been married all of these years, for my husband for our anniversary to take me to dinner, get me flowers, and get me a gift. That's enough. It's not low effort. It's not bare minimum. You're not a celebrity. You don't live a life where this is happening for you and everybody else around you. So like what? Not only that, you're disclosing information to the internet that's not your business to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you coming on the internet talking about my man's income? Because you sold the house. Like, be so for real. You're weird. And not for nothing, but what we do with our finances is for a greater purpose for our kids, because we are building generational wealth. We are trying to make sure that we can retire early. So getting flown out or going on a trip all the time is not our top priority. And as that man's wife, I know how to be an asset to him. And this is why I say I don't accept relationship advice for real, from people who don't have successful relationships. They've never been married. They don't have anything for real. They live in delusion in la la land, and they only dream about the day that a man's going to come in and do half the stuff that my man does for me. So thank y'all for coming to my TED Talk. That's the tea. Have a blessed day.
Clock it.
Did she clock her? All sophisticated like she encouraged because the other girl had to curse. She encouraged her, she raised her voice.
It wasn't enough left for her to say, but I'm probably sure she still was running her mouth because she still jealous. Because she want to make it, and she want to make it about her, and it ain't even about you. Because if you
Mhm.
were that genuinely concerned about your friend, that conversation would have never hit social media.
Never,
Because if
never
we
in the dark.
friends like that,
Mm-hmm.
that would have been she would have been done that day. Because you
Yep.
done went and took our business to a whole nother level. I would even probably call the board, the realtor who she worked for, and
And
tell the
so,
people she
mm-hmm.
are exposing her client's information.
Yep. Yep.
Since you want to go there.
Is it fixable? Because we always talk about
Mhm.
friendships, having the hard conversations. You know, we've been talking about that, right? We got to have the hard conversations. Don't sweep none of the rug. Is this a point to where it's a point of no return? There's no point of a conversation. Or do you still have a conversation, but still we can't be friends no more? What is your thoughts?
Child. It's a lot of variables for me. One, I would like it depends on if the friend that was married have said something to her before.
Mm-hmm.
If she expressed that, hey, I don't want you talking about my marriage, my husband, this, that, and the other, let it go, leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
And she continues to do it, that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they never had the conversation, which I can't see that not happening because she got too many tallies up in her mind where she keeping
Right.
tally of everything he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I don't know. That's a hard one because in my mind, on this left side over here, it says cut her off, baby, cut your losses. Go on about your business with your man, your man, your man. Talk to your other friends. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's a hard one. I don't know if I can come back from there because I know we're supposed to. Because here's the thing too. Conversation doesn't mean reconciliation.
Correct. I agree. I agree. And that's why I was saying, do we have the conversation, but we still leave it with a we ain't having no friendship from here.
I mean, I don't. I think that disrespect was way past friendship level. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think that was to no return, and in my mind, I probably gonna always think about that. And
Yeah.
even if now your husband feels a type of way,
Yeah.
so then it
Mhm.
goes for boundaries, even with how he gonna feel about you still hanging out with her, how he
Right.
gonna feel about her coming over to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get put in the middle where you gotta choose one or the other. And
Mm-hmm.
hands down, she ain't choosing her friend because she should have kicked us to the curb anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't know what you about. I don't know what about you, Sean.
I'm on the side of it's a point of no return. When you took it to social media, you already cut off our friendship.
Right.
That's how I see it. Once you took it to social media and decided to tell my business, his business, then try to allude that he's just some regular guy because she kept saying over a man. That's her husband. So not only you don't even respect him as who he is to me and
Mm-hmm.
what he is. So once you keep doing this and make it seem like he's just a boyfriend and you went too far. I would have the conversation because I would be like, I just want to let you know that what you did wasn't cool. And we can't, go from there. And I do feel like it don't need to happen. Because if you're made up in your mind that, oh baby, she went too far, I got to cut the cord. You know what you did on social media, so there's that. But if she was to call me and be like, hey, can we talk? I'll be the adult about the situation. We can have a conversation, but just know that we won't be going no further than this table that we sitting at this restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
You can
I
delete my number because I'm deleting yours. I tell my babies that you will move to another state and we won't be seeing you no more, or
Right,
whatever the case may be, because kids are involved. Everybody is involved. They got kids together. That's her husband. So kids get attached to your friends.
right.
They call
Especially if you've been
you
friends
TT.
for a long time.
You TT to them and everything. So kids will pick up and be like, "Oh, we're TT so and so. What came over in a while?" So now you got to you breaking up with everybody in the house. It don't just affect the one person, So I do feel like it is a point of no return, and I don't think that we could ever go back to being anything. I wish you well in life, but friend is something that we are not. We are
Mm-mm. Not even associates.
we're not even associates at this point. So I have a question, because I did title "What happens when your friend doesn't like your spouse?" Who are you picking? Let's just say it's none of what we just saw. They don't go on social media. They went to you and said, "Dina, girl, I just don't like Charles. I just don't like him. I don't see it for Charles." What do you do in a situation when your friend does not like your spouse?
I'm sorry. Because I'm picking my spouse because I made a vow and a covenant to my spouse and not my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people say, well, your spouse could leave and he could do this and then the other. Well, yeah, he can too, but we don't have the same covenant as a friend.
Right.
And I'm just not gonna do that. And I would hate that. And I would hate that you would even, first of all, for a friend to even put you in that
Position.
space to
Mhm.
make you want to choose, you're not my friend like that anyway. Because
Mhm.
I feel like a friend should respect whether it be your marriage, your relationship.
Mhm.
Even if you work together, your friend, your manager, you're supposed to still get them the same respect that that title holds. And
Right.
so for me, nah, I'm picking my man. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
But on the flip side of that, what happens when your spouse, I'm gonna flip this. So
Mhm.
your spouse doesn't want you to be friends with someone who you've been friends with now that you've gotten married.
I will request we will have to talk. Okay, why don't you like her? What's your reasonings? And if he have valid reasons, I might consider it. Now I'm gonna say why I say I might consider it, because I do feel like there is a space to where you can be friends with somebody. And if my husband have told me that, hey, I don't like Tasha, we'll just say the word name Tasha. I don't like Tasha. I'm saying Tasha, I looked at the game today, baby. Tasha Mack had me hollering. But anyway, so didn't show up. So we'll say Tasha, right? But I think I will make it to where, because you feel this way, you I'll make it to where you won't have to be in a setting with her, because I don't want you to feel uncomfortable or whatever. But if I know you don't care for whatever reasons, like you name, if it's not good enough valid reason, I don't know if I will let the friendship go.
So
I don't
if
know.
if you don't let the friendship go, then what does your marriage look like?
I feel like it looks the same. I always got to put y'all in my business. So my husband actually, I'm not gonna say don't like, but not fond of a friend ish. And I was like, well, why? And he told me the reasons why. And I was like, okay, I can see that, for your reasons why and blah blah blah. So I ain't gonna put it all out there. So I'm like, okay, I can kind of see that a little bit. So in that, my husband have always still remained respectful.
Mhm.
He's not going to act any other way. He's not going to be different. He's not going to do anything. But he also realized that, but this is your friend. This is not our friend. You
Right.
know, that's your friend, not my friend. So I don't have to interact with this person like this, and I don't have to do things with this person. If you cool, this person ain't doing nothing to hurt you, harm you, or whatever the case may be, I'm fine. Because some people just don't like people's personalities. He has a friend that I'm not too fond of, right? But I respect that that's his friend.
Mm.
You know, as long as he ain't telling you, come on, let's go to the strip club, let's do this, and making you do stuff bad. I think that's where we kind of draw the line at. If they're not pulling us into a place to where it's now being disrespectful to our marriage, I think it's a place to where it can work. Do that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like if I have a single friend and you want to go to the club, girl, you know I'm married. I'm not going to nobody's club, you know. And first of all, I ain't going to no club, not because I'm married, because I'm saved. Okay, okay, right. So outside of that, I ain't going to nobody's club. But if we add on the extra layer, you know, but you know I'm married. Why would you want to put me in a position like that? You know, or we want to do it every weekend. Girl, I'm married. I can't hang with you every weekend. So I think if the friendship gets to the point to where it's now disrespecting the marriage, it's time to let the friendship go.
Yeah, I agree. But then that comes into play, like it's two different scenarios in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Where those flip, because I have a friend of mine who she said she was really good friends with this guy, and the guy ended up getting married, and his she was best friends with him.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were best friends or good friends, and his wife told him to cut her off,
Mm.
and he cut her off,
Mm-hmm.
and she was really upset and mad about it. I felt her. I understood why you would feel like that because it's your friend. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I have been friends for a long time. I said, but however, I feel like he had to do what's best for his marriage. And
Right.
me, I would respect that. I may be
Mm-hmm.
bad in the beginning, but I'm gonna go ahead and respect that on the end because I want you to do what's best for your household, what's best for your marriage. And we know we ain't have no extra stuff going on, but just to be peaceful
Keep
about
it clear.
it and
Mhm.
I'm just going. I see you when I see you.
Now actually when it's a relationship or friendship, not me use the word relationship. When it's a friendship where it's the opposite sex, I think once your friend get married, I think you should bag back. That's me personally. I
Yeah,
think once your friend get married, you need to bag back because
right,
what y'all used to do, y'all can't do that no more. Even if it was strictly platonic,
right.
you can't do that because everybody don't know that you got a friend named John and you and John been friends since 10th grade. You know,
Hmm.
and if it's somebody on the husband side see you and John together, optics matter. And you can say all day, no, that's just her friend. They look like they was friends to me. And now it's mess being created in the marriage. So I do think when it is an opposite sex, I do feel like the opposite sex need to bag back.
Okay,
They need to
so
bag
now it was this post that surfaced on Facebook last week when this girl had posted, everybody was snowed in, so we had time, okay?
back.
And I
Mhm.
had time because I went back and forth too. And so the post was, do you think women and men can be best friends without being sexual?
Mm.
And I was like, now back not too long ago, I would say, now I'm not gonna say best friends,
Yeah.
because I feel like just me personal, I feel like your best friend should not be the opposite sex. When you
Hmm.
get married, I feel like your spouse should become your best friend.
Hmm.
And I would used to say that, yeah, women and men can be friends, ain't no hanky panky going on, you
Hmm.
know. But then in my my new mind, the more I seen stuff and heard stuff, I was like, nah, I'm not about it.
Well, yeah, to be fair, I do think there is a world where men and women can be friends, excuse me, without it being anything else. But let me add this part on here. I feel like if you aren't my friend that I've known since, and even then, I think, like I said, when marriage come in, you need to back up. But if we ain't been friends since 10th grade and kicking it from the womb all the way out, I don't know if it holds that much weight. But if you talking about somebody you met at work 10 years ago and y'all just became, nah, baby, work husband got to go because that's all he is a work husband.
Well, so that's why I got kicked to the side.
Yeah, you got to go.
So here I go. Let me tell y'all. I'm telling you my business, right? This is really hurt me, right? So I had a friend that was a guy friend, right? We were working together.
Mm-hmm.
And we will talk about the Bible, because we probably was the only Christian people in the whole building. So we were trying to bring God up in there because it was
Mm-hmm.
horrible. So we would talk about, the different scriptures and Bible and what my pastor would talk about and all this kind of stuff. And so one day I needed somebody to do some work for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, well, what you kind of I had somebody who was doing it, but they stopped. So he started picking up what I needed done for me at my house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So me being the type of person that I am, if you got a business, I'm gonna throw you some business, especially if you're doing good work for me. I'm gonna tell everybody, push your name, this, that, and the other, right? We were good friends. We would talk, and I always would say that he would be my, how every woman have most of the time that man friend that she can call, when you're single to ask,
Mm-hmm.
well, what you think about this? Well, I met this dude and tell me this about
Mm-hmm.
this. And we had those kinds of conversations. Granted, the man was married. So we never had inappropriate conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I did go to his house, it was to get my car cleaned. So, but me being me, I would go to the house. I would go inside the house first, make sure I spoke to the wife, sit
Mm-hmm.
down, talk to her. We talk about their kids, this, that, and the other, and then I go back outside and sit there and talk to the guy while he finished, doing the work on the car.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, I was good. I done did what I was supposed to do. Came outside talking to him because really I'm outside trying to ask him about this guy who I done met. So what you think about it? Because y'all got a different perspective on things. So we would talk about that. And I gave him a lot of business, right? So all of a sudden, one day I was telling him like he worked too much and was trying to I even was trying to help him with his marriage, trying to get him to understand where his wife was coming from about him working too much and trying to work all these jobs. And I was like, you're gonna end up sticking in the hospital, whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
when I stopped working there, one of my coworkers, she called me, she was like, girl, such in the hospital. I said, hey, we just talked about that last week. So I called to check on him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's when it hit the fan. But I really was calling to check on her to tell him that we were just talking about you being in the hospital from working and doing all that stuff. God ain't told you to take on all these jobs. You taking on all these jobs, being away from your wife and your kids. And I was giving him honest to God Christian truth. He
Mm-hmm.
was like, I know, yeah, yeah. I said, so while you're in the hospital, you need to pray and ask the Lord, what is it that you're supposed to be doing? And let some of that other stuff go so you can have balance in your life. Well, apparently it hit the fan because I called to check on him while he was in the hospital. And he finally told me that his wife had a problem with me all along.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I told my wife there ain't nothing going on with me and her. If you want me to release their relationship, I will release their relationship. She was like, well, if that's what you want to do, he's like, no, if that's what I want to do, you my wife and you come first. She was like, well, but she give you a lot of business and she send you a lot of clients and this, that, and the other. He was like, that ain't got nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So when he told me that, it made me feel so bad and mad because I genuinely had good intentions for him and his wife. Like I
Mm-hmm.
invited her to bring her daughters to my little mentoring thing and all kinds of stuff. You would think that I would want your husband. I don't want
Mhm.
no husband.
Yeah.
And so I just told him, I said, you know what? I ain't gonna worry about it. Don't I cut everything off from what we're doing.
Mhm.
Just period. Because I didn't want to be a part of it. And I really was mad because how dare you? I was not even
Mhm.
that type of person.
Yeah. I get that too. And I do feel like you gotta do what's best for your marriage, because like we be saying, Lord, like how we say all the time that you have a covenant with this man or this woman, so you do what's best for your household. And I do think that it does get sticky, but if she's never like cared for the relationship, I think she should have said it on the front end. And you should have been put out there and be like, hey, I'm a little uncomfortable with this. And then that way it could have been nipped in the bud then, and not having years of friendship to continue to go on. And we could have nipped this in the bud however many years ago. So I feel like the wife could have said something in the beginning, but she probably didn't know how to. But if you say stuff in the beginning, and like we've been saying, have the hard conversations. Pull them.
Mhm.
What is this? You and Dina cool? Like, or
Listen.
it'll just been like, you know what? I feel like she calls too much, or I feel like she texts too much. I need y'all to have a little bit more boundaries. If it got to the point where, okay, I believe you, y'all got something just strictly friendship, but here's my stipulations. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. But we gotta talk to each other.
Mhm.
Like, we gotta talk. You can't be married to somebody for 35,000 years and don't want to have the conversation.
What?
Talk.
I mean, the lady even came to my house while he was here working in my house. And I went
Mm-hmm.
outside and talked to her because 9 times out of 10, I don't even be at home when he would come. Whenever I made sure
Mm-hmm.
I crossed every T and dotted every I, whenever he would
Yep.
come to my house and do work, I would leave. I leave the
Mm-hmm.
door locked. Hey, he'd call, say, I'm coming at this time. All right, I'm going to the park. I'm going to wherever I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
But the house is there. I ain't have a fear that he was gonna steal none to do anything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, towards the end too, when he ended up telling me about that he was like, "Well, I'm gonna tell you something that's probably inappropriate." And when he said that, I was like, "Don't tell me, because that's gonna
Mm-hmm.
change my whole outlook of everything and everybody in this situation. It's not gonna be well."
Mm-hmm.
Now it was bad, but it went bad because it made me look at him in a different way on top of everything else that happened. When he was like, well, I had a dream. That's all you got to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to know nothing about why I was in your dream.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
know. So that really made me cut everything off. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, I ain't even like him like that. Like, why I get like you messed up my whole shenanigans I had going on from all my work. Now I ain't got nobody to do nothing. But it made me so leery of um guys. And I was even listening to, I think, the podcast when the man they was asking, can women and men be friends? And the man was like, well, even Cam knew, he a little he was like, I'm not being friends with no woman because I already know what it is. And even on the podcast, they were saying, the man was saying no. He said, because we may be friends, but most of the time, some men are just sitting there waiting on access to you.
That's all it is. Yeah. And they wait for the moment. They really are. And I think that's when you have to be careful, because even if it's platonic for 10 years, even if that is case, year number 11 may be the year it go down. It may be the year, because once you get to spending time with people, and you got to be careful too, because you know the devil is, he tricky. Okay, he tricky, and he don't mind waiting and being patient, and he don't mind that. So where I'm going with that is this: that 10-year relationship where you can say we ain't done nothing, we ain't never did nothing inappropriate. I'm not talking about you. I'm saying this is a general
Mhm.
conversation. Ain't never did nothing. But when you have a opposite sex friends, you begin to have conversations. My wife made me mad. My husband made me mad. The kids getting on my nerves. Oh, I got a gout in my big toe. You start having more intimate conversations because you're spending more time with each other. And the moment that it goes wrong, and be like, come on, let's go get us something to eat because I don't feel like going home. We've been arguing every day. That be the time. Don't
Mhm.
get no libations put in your system if y'all, people drink. It really takes nothing for it to go from this to that really quickly. So
Mhm.
I'm on the side of I don't know if it's possible for men and women to be friends long term. I do feel like there's a place for it and a space for it,
Right.
but long term, I don't think so. And like I said, if the woman get married, the man needs to back up. You need to respect her husband as her husband.
Because most of the time, the man gonna let it be known. Now we'll let some stuff slide,
Yeah, yeah.
but the
Mm-hmm.
man, most of the time, the man ain't going. We ain't calling you for nah. We ain't playing
Right,
that type of
right,
game.
right. And I think the same way when the male friend get married, back up. I wish you a happy birthday on Facebook. I text you every now and again because it's been a few months, but I do think because eventually dating is one thing. Once you get married, it's a totally different aspect. Everything changes, everything looks different, smell different, tastes different. It's everything. So when marriage comes into play, it is like why he texting you though? Y'all ain't at work. Y'all ain't talking enough at work. You know, and then the devil plays tricks too. Now
Mm-hmm.
he getting in the spouse ear.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't talking just about just talking. They
Mm-hmm.
ain't just doing this. And the people are really cooling. But the devil
Right.
don't play fair. And he don't
Right.
like people that's married. He don't like it.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Then that leaves too much rooms for the what if,
And
and
that's how
then
mess
we
gets
start
started.
taking little bitty things and be like, yeah,
Yep.
they been doing it all along, and this, and then it's just too much, and
It
even
becomes too much.
it's too much, and I even find myself now even in just having conversations with guys. Period. If I, talking, now if they're not dating anybody, I still will keep it kind of, like, because I want to keep this as a friendship. And I be like, nah, I didn't call them too much this week. I ain't calling. I'm gonna find somebody else
Yeah.
to call their ass, because
Mhm.
then it started taking things to somewhere else that you don't want to take it to.
Yep.
Baby, it's just too much. But best friend, I'm telling you right now, you heard me say it tonight, February the 3rd, 2026. My man is not gonna have no female best friend.
Yep.
I'm gonna be his best friend.
What's up, Lee? How you doing, boo? Look, y'all know I love girlfriends, and I reference girlfriends so much because I mean, they touched on everything. But there was a conversation with William, and this was when Maya was messing around with what was the guy name?
Girl, I ain't seen that in so long. I can't
Oh
remember.
God, Stan. When Maya was messing with Stan, and they got caught. His name was Stan, and Maya and Stan went to William's house that he had just bought for him and Yvonne. And he walks in, and he was like, "What y'all here doing?" He was like, "Oh, we just friends. We ain't doing nothing." Blah blah blah. So he was like, "Stan, can you give us a moment? Can me and Maya just talk?" So Stan go outside. Baby, I love me some girlfriends, okay? So Stan goes outside, and he was like, "Maya, what you doing?" And he was like, "You can't say he your friend. I see how he looking at you." So Maya says, "But me and you friends. Why can't we be friends?" And know what William told her? He said, "On the right date at the right liquor, baby, I take all three of y'all down." Talking about
Oh!
Tony and Glenn. He said, "I'll take all y'all down." And it was coming from a man perspective. Yes, I'm respecting you, but baby, if it came down to the get down, I ain't gonna turn it away. And most men don't.
I was just about to say most
And most
men
men
would
won't.
not.
They
Mm,
not gonna turn it down. If
mm.
it came down to the get down with the get down, and William told her, "Baby, look, oh, I would. Don't think I would, because I would. Look, you my friend, but we can go there. We can go there, okay?"
Because a lot of them just be waiting on the
They
opportunity.
just,
They
they
already
just,
know your business anyway because you done told them everything.
he already know.
Child, now.
He
It's a
already
difference in being suspects and no,
Yep.
especially when they got a history. If they got a history of that, it don't take but one or two times. Oh, it's a wrap.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ooh, child. I done get hot now. Mm. No, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. No, no, and no.
Well, y'all, that's what we got.
Sean came back hot.
Came
Okay.
back, came back hot, came back hot. But you guys, that's all we have. We got a little deep. We may go a little deeper next week. We may go a little deeper. I'm gonna send it to you, Dina, so you can. I'm gonna let Dina get the approval. I'm gonna send it through Dina for the approval because, baby, I don't mind shaking the table. In the words of K. Michelle, okay, we can shake the table a little bit. So I will send it to her, and we gonna take it up another step, one more step, okay? But all right, you guys, that's all we have. Thank you guys for watching it. Shout out to all the replay watchers. Share it out to your friends. If you've been like, girl, me and my friend just had this conversation, send it to her, okay? Go ahead and send it over there to your friend, your auntie, your uncle, your niece, your nephew, all the things, all right? Your neighbor, your church member, send it on. All right, Miss Dina, you got anything else? Benediction, go on, send us out, boo.
Listen, watch as well as pray.
Amen.
Do not let none come in that the Lord ain't sent. Okay?
All right.
That's all I
Amen.
got.
Don't let nobody mess up what you got going on. All right, you guys. That's all I got. We ain't got no more. We will see you guys and we'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.